Good morning, I'm Georgia Fitzpatrick.
And I'm Teo Torres, so we could be talking maybe meeting a record or breaking a record heat-wise this late in October.
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but boy, what a week we have going on.
Absolutely, and the record wouldn't be for today, but we're looking at maybe down the road into Thursday. There is potential there that we could tie a record for warm temperatures. Outside right now, let's think about how cool it is because it's a nice morning start here as we look from West Sacramento into downtown across the Tower Bridge. Right now, we're in the upper 50s across the valley floor. Skies are clear and they're going to stay bright and sunny once that sun comes up at 7:17 today. You can expect that you may want to layer for yourself and the family as you're getting the day started. We'll have light north winds paired with that sunshine, upper 70s by lunchtime. Destination highs moving into the mid 80s. The skies are really cleared out. The only area I'm seeing some trouble in terms of some low clouds would be the fog, and that's right along the immediate coast and expanding into parts of the Highway 1 corridor through Sonoma County. So just be prepared if you're heading in that direction. In the foothills, prepare for sunshine today, mid 70s at lunchtime, high around 80 degrees in spots like Auburn, Sonora, and up and through Quincy. Coming up in my full forecast, I'll show you what's ahead and when we may see those potential for record temperatures around the area. 6:01 right now, checking in with Aaron on the morning commute.
Thanks, Tamara. And we've been monitoring a few wrecks between Lathrop and Tracy. Those have finally went away, but we are still dealing with the backup of those two non-injury wrecks. If we take a look at the entire area, Lathrop, Tracy, Stockton, not bad, but all of that backup is due to what we were seeing. Hey, look, it got a little less red. Fantastic. If we take a look at our drive times to the Bay, we are already in the red, 23 minutes, I-5 to 580. Sacramento doing really nicely this morning. Only one thing left to speak of. It's a car versus a tree, non-injury also, so fantastic. Verner Avenue headed eastbound at Garfield Avenue. And if we take a look at our drive time through Sacramento, we are all in the green except Rancho Cordova to 99, which usually sits around 10 minutes. Back to you. Thank you. The placement of a sexually violent predator is once again the focus of a public meeting in Placer County today.
Now, for months, the county has been strongly opposed to his placement. Melanie Wingo's live in Auburn this morning, where that meeting is happening in just a few hours. Good morning.
Good morning. We're at the Placer County Community Development Agency building, and this is where the public is invited to attend to weigh in on the placement of this sexually violent predator. Take a look. This is the second hearing for this man, William Stevenson. He's considered a sexually violent predator with a history of sexual violence dating back to the 80s. He served time, got out, and was arrested and convicted again in 2017 related to possession of child sex abuse material. Now, at the beginning of September, KCRA3 was there as a judge in Placer County denied Stevenson's immediate release into the community as a transient, but exactly where Stevenson will end up ultimately following his most recent prison term having been served is the subject of continued heated debate. The public is invited to weigh in this morning at 9 o'clock at this public meeting that's happening at the Placer County Community Development Agency where we are this morning. The address is 3091 County Center Drive in Auburn. Residents can also watch remotely through the Placer County Sheriff's Office or DA's Office Facebook pages. And back out here live, both the DA's Office and the Sheriff's Office say that they have been opposed to Stevenson's release into Placer County every step of the way, but they're required by law as members of the Housing Committee to meaningfully participate in the placement process. Reporting live in Auburn this morning, Melanie Wingo, KCRA3 News.
All right, Melanie, thank you. By the way, this public meeting is happening in advance of the next court hearing related to Stevenson's release. That hearing is set for Wednesday of next week.
A little later this morning, Sacramento County District Attorney Tin Ho is going to be announcing new action to tackle domestic violence. His office is expected to launch a new tool to help victims, and we're going to learn more about that tool at a news conference that's scheduled for 10 o'clock this morning. We'll have updates for you online and on our KCRA3 News at noon.
Well, happening today, Attorney General Rob Bonta will issue a consumer alert over PFAS. Those are the forever chemicals that can sometimes be found in food packaging and tap water, and they've been linked to health risks like liver problems and increased risk of cancer. Under a recent California law, PFAS must not be found in food packaging, and a disclosure must be on a label for cookware. Bonta plans to warn companies of the responsibility for that disclosure. That's around 11 o'clock this morning in LA. Well, illegal fentanyl is impacting communities around the state, and today one school district in our area wants to help families talk to their kids about the danger.
The Folsom Cordova Unified School District is going to be holding a special workshop hoping to get those conversations going. KCRA3's Mike DeSell live in Rancho Cordova now with more on that meeting.
Yeah, and specifically, we're standing right outside the Folsom Cordova Unified School District's headquarters, because that is where this community meeting is going to be held tonight. Now, here's the details. This evening, beginning at 5:30, that is when they will begin this special community meeting titled a Cyber Safety and Drug Awareness Workshop. This district office, by the way, is located at 1965 Berkmont Drive. You can either RSVP to attend this in person, or you can watch this online. More information on that is at the district's website. In addition, the school district saying that all of its schools in the district have physical and mental health professionals available on campus for their students, because again, this meeting comes following the death of one of this district's students. Now, out of respect for the family, the school district has said they're not going to share any details about the cause of death, but since that student's death, this school district has been very upfront and forthright about trying to push the issue of the dangers of fentanyl and cyber safety issues. So again, tonight, a community meeting here at this district in the wake of this student's death. Live in Rancho Cordova, Mike DeSell, KCRA 3 News.
Mike, thank you. 6:07 now, and the organizers also say the parents can learn more about how to educate their kids through the Drug Enforcement Agency's One Pill Can Kill campaign.
House Republicans will vote today on a new speaker. Their nominee, Jim Jordan of Ohio, is trying to end months of infighting, unite the fractured caucus, and get the House back to work. KCRA3's Amy Lou is on Capitol Hill this morning with more on what we can expect to see today.
Well, we could see multiple rounds of voting as Republicans try to elect Jim Jordan to the speakership, who is currently trying to flip a substantial number of holdouts in his favor.
We need to get a speaker tomorrow. The American people deserve to have their Congress, their House of Representatives working, and you can't have that happen until you get a speaker.
Jordan's getting support from conservative media and former President Donald Trump. Democrats, though, will be backing their own nominee, not Jordan, so he'll need near unanimous support from his own party in order to win. But with his hard-right politics and as a founding member of the ultra-conservative Freedom Caucus, Jordan must prove he can unify his party rather than further divide it.
I never used the terms hard no or never never, but I am opposed. I can't abide by the fact a small group violated the rules to get what they wanted. Now I'm supposed to play by the rules. So I think we got to have consequences.
He's assured me that members like me and the people I represent will have a voice at the table, and he understands that we need to govern, and for that I'll be voting for him.
A secret ballot last Friday showed that at least 50 Republicans would not vote for Jordan. Keep in mind, he can only afford to lose 4. The House will begin voting today at noon. On Capitol Hill, I'm Amy Lou, KCRA 3 News.
And getting back to work is key as funding for the government expected to run out 1 month from today.
Well, live look over the U.S. Capitol this morning, and right now Senator Alex Padilla is joining senators from North Carolina and Minnesota to officially launch the bipartisan Senate Mental Health Caucus. The goal of the caucus is to raise awareness of mental health issues and destigmatize mental health. The caucus will also work to improve prevention and early intervention efforts.
Well, the search for a suspect continues this morning in Lodi after 2 people were killed after being shot inside of a home. Happened on South Central Avenue near Poplar Street. Here's a look at the scene. Just after 6:30 last night, officers found the house there, and they arrived and saw 2 people that had gunshot wounds. A 36-year-old man died at the scene. 49-year-old man was taken to the hospital where he later died.
The suspect fled the scene before officers arrived, and they are working to identify the suspect right now, and they believe this was a targeted incident and that there is no current threat to the public.
Anyone with information is asked to please contact the Lodi Police Department. You can leave an anonymous tip through Crime Stoppers.
A pursuit with Sacramento County Sheriff's deputies ended with a crash last night. It happened at Live Oak Court near Fair Oaks Boulevard. Around 9:15 last night, the deputy saw a vehicle commit a violation. The driver didn't stop. There was a pursuit, And during the chase, deputies say the driver tossed a liquor bottle out of the window. The vehicle did end up crashing into a gate, and the driver was arrested and taken to a hospital where they will be tested for DUI. Several drivers were hospitalized after a late-night crash happened in Loomis. This one was just off of Bankhead Road at Sierra College Boulevard, west of Taylor Road. That crash shut down both streets at around 8:30 last night. The Placer County Sheriff's Office says that at least 3 vehicles were involved. The drivers of each vehicle did end up in the hospital. Their conditions at this point not announced this morning. The investigation into that crash will continue, and the roads are back open.
Well, 3 members of Sacramento family have pleaded guilty to being part of a national catalytic converter theft ring. Brothers Tao Su Vang and Andrew Vang, along with their mother, Monica Mao, were part of a network of thieves, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Charges allege they shipped $600 million worth of stolen catalytic converters from California to New Jersey. 21 people from California and Jersey have been charged in this case.